Hi guys, my name is Teaghan. Welcome to my channel. This is my first video, so I'm sorry if things are a bit weird. Basically, I did this look on my face. I used the new Huda Beauty palette and some of my other favorite products. So I'm hoping you guys find this video helpful or entertaining or interesting or something. I love watching these types of videos, so I hope you guys do too. Yeah, so let's get started. I'm going to start out with my professional primer and just put that in places on my face where I need it just like a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the Becca foundation in the shade Fair, and I'm going to add a little bit of the shade Beige as well and mix them together. I'm mainly fair, but I just want to make myself look a little bit more tan, to be honest. So just like that much of each of the ones. And I'm going to take my Zoeva 104 buffer brush. Make sure I blend it really well to my neck so it all connects. Once that's all blended in, I'm going to go in with the BB Cream Garnier. It's like a rollerball under eye kind of thing. And I just use it kind of underneath any concealer I use to kind of correct. And also because I have really dry under eyes, if I just put on a concealer, like a heavier concealer underneath my eyes, I tend to get dry patches, so this helps to prevent that for me. So if you have dry patches or dark circles, I would recommend giving this a go. I also found that this is good for correcting, because most correcting of things that I've seen in the past or used in the past have been, you know, like thicker creams, which I feel on me tend to crease up, and then as well once you layer another concealer over the top it can be quite thick and drying, and this one's really nice and light and does the job really well. I'm just going to use my beauty blender over the top of this just to blend it out. The reason I don't go straight in with my beauty blender is because the product's really thin, and I feel like when I use my beauty blender it kind of soaks up too much of it and thins it out too much, so then it ends up basically doing nothing. But if I just go over it towards the end to just make sure there's no harsh edges or anything left from my fingers, I find it does a better job. I'm next going to cream contour with my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit in light, and I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to go in with the middle shade today, Light Sculpt. I kind of just use all of them, to be honest. I only got this recently and I'm not really sure what shade I like the best to use, so I just switch it up. I'm just using the 102 Real Techniques brush just to place this on my face. And on my nose. Under my lip. Just to make it look a bit plumper. And under my neck as well. So a little bit with the leftover product. And then I'm actually just going to go back in with my same foundation brush that I use, just because I find that this works really well and is really fast for blending it out. Also, I don't want really any harsh lines, and I find that this helps to make it appear more natural. You could use a smaller brush to blend this out, but I just honestly am too lazy for that, so this is what I do. I find that that less so like contours my face and more warms my face up, but that's kind of what I like. I like it to just be kind of natural looking, I guess, or I don't know. I just like the way this looks. Then I'm going to go in with Fair and Neutral from the same kit, and I'm just going to use my finger, and I just kind of use that as a concealer slightly, like, because I don't like anything too heavy. I just want something to brighten under my eyes and to highlight in the center of my face as well, but I just use a very, very small amount, like a really small amount, so it's just enough to cover my face. So on my chin, just a little bit on my chin. I already have a very pointy chin and I don't want to make it seem more pointy. Bit on the middle of my nose as well, and down the bridge here. So I just use like a very small amount just so it brightens, but I don't really want to add coverage with this more so, because I like to have my skin still look like skin unless like I have a lot of foundation and product on. Like, I'm okay if, you know, my scars and pimples and little dots and stuff like that show through. Like I'm sure you can see on this side there's a few dots, and as well on this side there is as well. But I prefer it to look like that because I feel like it just makes it, I don't know, just makes it look more natural. I feel like when it's completely flawless, but you can like see more foundation product on it and like makeup powders and things like that. I don't really like that, the way that looks. I prefer to have some little spots peeking through. Just under my eyes a little bit to brighten. And then just go over that again with my beauty blender to make sure everything's blended and seamless. Next I'm going in with the Clinique Chubby Stick in Robust Rhubarb 02. And just going to dot this on my cheeks a bit. I actually really like using cream products. I feel like for my skin as well during the summer, it just works well because I do kind of have quite dry skin. I feel like the cream kind of prevents it from drying out. Some products will kind of make my skin go dry, where I feel like these ones keep my skin nice and moisturized and like locks in the moisture more rather than taking it out. And I love as well just using these cream products without putting a foundation down as well when I'm being a little lazier or just want a more natural look. I like just using my fingers for this as well. And then just go over a little bit with my beauty blender. Make sure it's all blended out. You can see it's just very subtle and nice and natural blush. I am going to set my under eyes and like my T-zone with my Australia's Banana Powder. I love this stuff. I think it complements my skin tone really, really well. I think if you're kind of like tan, like yellow tone kind of person, or like, you know, palish yellow tone person. I'm not very tan at the moment, but I will get more tan as the summer goes on. I think this is a really great product to use. I'm just using the Real Techniques 300 brush and just kind of setting all the places I highlighted and also my eyelids. I find this as well just kind of like makes my skin look smoother, especially when I use this brush. Like I don't know why, it just really evenly and like thinly distributes the product, I think. I'm next going to go in with the Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder and my 106 powder brush from Zoeva, and just slightly set the rest of my face just to make sure it doesn't sweat off during the day. Okay, now I'm actually going to just fill in my eyebrows with the Natio Brow Kit. It's literally just brow powder and I've had this for ages and it's gross now. But it does a job for me and I like the look of powder. I think you can get a more natural look from it. And I'm going to use the Zoeva 3117 liner brush. I just go in with this one here. And brush through them. It looks so different. The first time I filled in my eyebrows, I was like too scared to leave the house because I thought I looked crazy, but you kind of get used to it after a while and it makes such a big difference to your face. My eyebrows, I feel like the hair is quite a bit lighter than my natural hair color. My natural hair color is quite dark at the minute. My eyebrows are quite sparse as well, so I feel like powder's a good option for me because it can still keep them quite light and natural, but I'm able to fill in the entire space without them becoming too bold. I'm now going to go in with this Hoola bronzer from Benefit. It's just a mini one, and the little brush that it came with, and just kind of start to contour a bit with this. I really like this bronzer. I know everyone raves about it, but definitely if you're looking for one, pick this up. I know it's quite expensive in Australia. It's like $51, which is kind of crazy to spend on one product. But honestly, I think bronzer makes such a big difference. Like even if you were to just chuck on like, you know, do your eyebrows, mascara, bronzer, like it makes you look so much healthier in my opinion. Like just to have a bit of a tan glow. And now I'm taking my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil Light Medium Matte Bronzer with a Zoeva 128 Cream Cheek Brush. And just kind of going over the top and kind of buffing in this bronzer and the Hoola one as well, just so it's all very seamless and blended. And I feel like this one warms up. Also, it smells like chocolate. It smells really nice. When I have this on, like I'll hug my boyfriend and he'll be like, have you been eating chocolate? No. just my makeup. Now I'm just going to go in with the 106 powder brush again and just kind of blend that so it's not harsh. I feel like my eyebrows look so crazy without my mascara or anything on. It looks ridiculous. Now I'm going to use the Coral Spectrum palette from Zoeva, so it's a blush palette, and I'm going to go in with this one here, this one here, which is like a shimmery one, and this one over here as well. Just on using this blusher brush from the Body Shop, and then again just going in with the powder brush just to make sure there's no harsh edges or anything like that. And now for the fun part and the crazy part as well. I tend to keep my base quite natural looking and my eyes extreme if I'm going to do my eyeshadow, which I do wear extreme eyeshadow quite a fair bit, to be honest. Going to be using the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I love this palette so far. I haven't used it that many times. I haven't had it that long, and I'm going to do something with this. First brush I'm going to use is the 227 Soft Definer brush by Zoeva, and I'm going to go in with Eden, just there, and I'm just going to put this kind of as a transition shade above my crease. The only problem I've really found with this palette so far is that there's only 2 transition shades, and it's only Eden and Musk, and I'm not really a big fan of Musk because it is like a cool tone kind of taupey shade, and I tend to do more warm tone looks because I think it just suits my kind of bluey greeny eyes better. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say so far that I don't like about it. Also, I haven't been able to use Cosmo, the glitter shade yet, because I don't actually have a glitter glue, so that's kind of annoying. I think if a palette is, you know, a palette for all things, you shouldn't really need like to also have a glitter glue to be able to use a shade, in my opinion, but it's not really a deal breaker for me. It's fine. To me, if you're going to have a palette that's going to have a shade like that in it, you should include a glitter glue with the palette if you're not going to formulate it so it's going to be able to go onto the eyes just normally. And I'm just building this up through my crease, and then I'm also going to run this under the lower lash line as well. Just zoomed you guys in a bit so you can see a bit better. I'm sorry if the quality has gone a bit bad once I zoomed in, but I'm using my iPhone camera because I haven't brought a camera yet. I'm next going to go in with the Real Techniques 203 brush and the shade Amber, which is that one just there that I had my finger on. I really like the shade Amber. I'm just going to put this in my crease just a little bit under Eden, which I just put down, and I'm just going to keep building this up. I'm just going to blend this out because it looks crazy at the moment with the brush I was using before in Eden. I'm also going to run Amber under my lower lash line. So I'm now going to go in with the 223 Petite Eye Blender brush. I'm first going to go in with Saffron, which is kind of like a deep red. I can't do it. That's really hard to do. Oh yeah, going in with that colour just on the outer corner. We're going to kind of bring this one into almost the center of the eye, and we're also going to bring it a little bit kind of through the crease. And I'm also going to put this on just that outer corner of the lower lash line. I'm now just going to go back in with the Real Techniques brush that I used before just to blend this all out. And I'm also going to go back in with the first brush that I used and a little bit of Eden just to make sure that all the edges are blended. I'm now going to go back in with the Petite Eye Blender brush from Zoeva and the colour Oud, which is this one here, and just darken up the far end of the outer corner with this colour. And then as well, just putting this on my lower lash line. And then I'm just taking this brush here that I used before and Saffron, and I'm just going to kind of pack that onto the outer corner and help, so it can help blend out Oud. And then again, going in with my bigger, fluffier brush with Eden just to go over everything. I'm now going to go in with, this is literally like a paintbrush that I just never used for paint. I wouldn't recommend using a paintbrush that you've actually used for paint before, just in case there's like chemicals or something in it, especially not, you know, if you're going to be using it on your eyes. But because I just don't have a makeup brush for this purpose, I need to pick one up, but I haven't yet. And I'm going to take my Rainforest of the Sea, and I'm just going to like half cut my eye for a like semi cut crease kind of look. I'm just using the doe fowl to get some on there. Definitely, if you had a good makeup brush, you'd be able to make this a lot cleaner and nicer, but I don't have one, so doing the best I can. And yeah, then before that dries, so it's kind of tackier and acts as kind of a glue for the shade, I'm going to go in with, I think I'm going to go in with Blood Moon, which is, you can get to it, this shade just there. And I'm first just going to use my finger to pack that on. And then I'm going to take my Zoeva 226 smudger brush, and I'm going to just dampen that with my Mario Badescu spray and go back in with Blood Moon and clean up the edges of this. And now I'm going to cut the other eye. You probably noticed I cut my crease quite high, but that's because otherwise I find that if I cut it lower, then the shimmery shade will transfer up higher later on in the day anyway, so that's why I do it higher. And then also I think that when I have my eyes open, it like makes it look better because you can still kind of see the cut crease. Now the struggle is getting them to look the same. This one actually ended up better than the first one, which is a change. It normally ends up worse. But again, I'm just going to go in and pack that all with my finger first, and then go in again with the same brush. Okay, now what I do after I've done the shimmer shade is I go back in with the previous shades like over the top of the crease just to further define the cut. So I'm going in with Oud with this brush here. And then with the same brush, I'm just going to go in with Saffron just a tiny bit higher than Oud. I'm also going to go back in with my Real Techniques brush and just stamp Oud on the outer corners of my eye just to darken it up a little bit more. And then as well, just with the same brush, and I'm going to go in with Saffron just to kind of blend into the shimmer shade. And then I'm just going to go in with my soft definer brush, again with no product on it, and I'm just going to blend out everything. And I'm also just going to take a bit more of Eden and Amber underneath my eyes just so it matches up a bit more and is a bit heavier on the under eye because it's very heavy on the top. At the moment there's nothing really on the bottom. I surprisingly didn't have much fallout with that, which is amazing. Normally you would expect, especially with, I never tap off any of my eyeshadows or anything like that because I feel like it's just a waste of product. Like I'm not going to tap half my eyeshadow palette onto the ground, especially not when you pay like 95 Australian dollars for this. It's ridiculous. But yeah, why did I spend that much money on my eyeshadow? It's a good palette. I do really like it. I do really like the colours. I love the warm kind of like red shades and stuff like that. It's really nice. It's expensive. And I'm just going to zoom you guys back out. Let's finish off the face. I'm going to go in with the Tarte highlighted in Exposed. And I'm just going to use the same blush brush that I used before for my blush. And I'm just going to highlight my face. This highlight is really nice. It's like natural but not natural at the same time. It's like exactly what you want. Like you can build it up to be really, really crazy, or you can just leave it kind of like quite light and quite natural. It's a really nice colour for my skin tone, I think. Not too light and not too dark. I'm also just going to use my finger to highlight under my brow bone and also my inner corner. I feel like this look really doesn't match my top, but we're just going to deal with it. Now I'm going to finish off the eyebrows with this 3D eyebrow tones gel thing from Benefit in shade number 2. Personally, I probably would have gone a shade darker in this, but I got this for free as a sample from Sephora, so whatever. I'm next just going to curl my eyelashes with this manicure eye curler, which is really manky. One time when I was in year 8, I was like 14, I used this for almost the first time I ever used it, and I ripped out a shit ton of eyelashes. And it hurt so bad, and I swear, like, to this day my eyelashes have not recovered. It was on this eye, like right there. It was horrible. And I'm just going to use the Lights Camera Lashes mascara from Tarte. Okay, I'm now going to spray my face with the My Rubidescu spray. And then I just go over it with my beauty blender. I find that this makes sure that I don't have any kind of like spots on my face from the spray. And I also like the way it looks. It kind of takes away the powdery look and makes it look a bit more like skin. Now going in with the Tarte Lip Quench Rescue. It's basically just like a gloss in a tube, or like a tinted lip balm, but I really like it. It smells like mint, and it's just a really nice like glossy, your lips but better kind of look. Yes, so this is the finished look. This obviously isn't a natural look for everyone, but for me, I do wear kind of a lot of eyeshadow a lot of the time because I just really love makeup. So if I'm, you know, like I'm going to work tonight and I'm going to wear this to work, I just work in fast food. Yeah, I just really like makeup, and just honestly going to work is one of the only times I wear makeup because I don't do anything else with my life, honestly. So I know, you know, this is probably more of a going out look for most people. I like to keep my face more natural, so like if these eyes aren't for you, then you know you can watch the first half of the video and you know you might like, you know, you might like to use the products that I use on my face. But yeah, for most people this is probably a going out look, and if I was going out I would wear this. Also, I'd put some fake lashes on as well, but I'm not going to put that on for this video, even though it would make it look a lot nicer. Yeah, I'm going to work and I'm not going to go to work with fake eyelashes on. That's a little bit extreme even for me. But yeah, and if I put them on for the video and then took them off, like, then you're going to have that, you know, like glue and stuff, and I just don't fuck with eyelashes unless I have to, because I'm terrible at putting them on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave any suggestions in the comments below for future videos, or also for you know, if there was anything that you didn't like about this video, let me know. I'll try and fix it. You know, some constructive criticism would be great. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.